Mum, knock. Oh, I must have done it in my head. What is that smell? Please don't do that. Do what? Come into my room and immediately find a problem with it? Well, I was just coming to ask you something. What is this? Put that down. So this is where all your plates are. I told you to wash them up. Oh, I will. Oh, it's so messy in here. I thought you were tidying it. Yes, I'm going to. Really though, what is that smell? I can't smell anything. It smells like something's rotting in here. Maybe it's just you. Ha ha. What did you want to ask me? You said you came in to ask me something? Oh, I don't remember. Of course. Oh my god, guys, I just came live because me and Millie, we just found our teacher on Facebook. How funny is that? He's got some weird pictures on there, like him with his wife and him with his kids. Like, get a life. Why are you posting that on Facebook? He had a status up today about me. I can't believe that. He's just obsessed with me, isn't he? Like, he sent me out today, out of the lesson, and then he makes a post on Facebook about me, thinking that we won't see it. But Millie just found his Facebook, so we did see it anyway. He said that I disrupted the lesson today, and he sent me out, and that I have shit makeup. I can't believe that. Can you? We were honestly laughing, though. It's so funny because he's just so obsessed with me. Yeah, I have words with him. Yeah, I'm going to tell him what I think of him, because that is not on. Yeah, I'm going to call him out. Yeah, don't worry. Horrible, isn't it? Stranger Things is not over. I'm telling you, they're going to come out with another episode. Byler didn't even happen, so it can't have been the last episode. I'm telling you, they're going to bring out another one as a surprise. They've left so many clues on their social medias. They've made it so obvious. They think we're stupid, but we've got it all worked out. What do you think? Do I think there's going to be another episode? Yeah, everyone's talking about it on TikTok and stuff. Yeah, no, I've seen them. So, there has to be another episode, right? We haven't even got to see Byler yet. I think they kind of already shut that down. But there's so many plot holes, so many questions we haven't had answers for. Yeah, I know, but I do think that was just the last episode. But we've worked it out because we're so smart on the internet. They're gonna drop another surprise episode. Okay. So what do you think? Yeah, I still don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, someone else can do your nails. My dog sitter threatened to sue me. This story's going to be a long one, but I have all of the receipts, I have witnesses, I have video evidence. I'm going to give you the backstory first. So me and my boyfriend were looking for someone to dog sit our new puppy for the evening. When we lived in London, we lived in a block of flats and the building had a WhatsApp group chat. So I messaged in there. The dog sitter in question, let's call her Sandra, she responded in the group chat and she said that she also has a dog and she was living on the same floor as me. So then I started private messaging her. Remember this very important message. She said, no charge, of course. And at the time, my puppy was 9 weeks old. And I said, she's going for her final vaccine today, so she's not allowed to meet other dogs. Keep that in mind again. I said, is your dog fully vaccinated? Because if her dog is vaccinated, then we could have done the dog sit in her flat with her dog. In her response, she did not answer my question. That's no problem for me. He's 9 years old, so he's an oldie. Because obviously, even if your dog's old, not everyone vaccinates their dog. Remember this as well. She said, my dog can stay at home. I'm sure they will meet at some point anyway. The next few messages are just us trying to confirm what time she can come round prior to the dog sit to meet us and to meet our dog. She comes round, she meets Fifi, everything seems good, and then this is where things go downhill. On the day of the dog sit, she gets here and me and my boyfriend have some of our friends round, having some pre-drinks and stuff before we were heading out. My boyfriend does music and stuff, so he had a music competition that night. I then gave Sandra a quick tour of the flat downstairs because the flat was 2 floors. So the kitchen, dining area, living room, and a toilet were all downstairs. I showed her the fridge. I said, you can help yourself to any food. And I specifically said to her that Fifi was not allowed upstairs at that point. The only things upstairs were bedrooms. So obviously with a toilet being downstairs already, she would have no reason to go upstairs, especially because I also said the dog can't go upstairs, so keep that in mind. This is where I should probably mention my fault in this story. Because Fifi was a puppy, we were trying to crate train her downstairs. So we had a little blink camera set up on the dining room table. Nothing else was on this table, by the way. Like, the camera was there and that was it. Like, you could very clearly see it. And it was pointing towards Fifi's crate. I have evidence of this as well, that we had that camera there for weeks, but I didn't even think to tell Sandra about the camera because obviously I forget about the camera, it's just there. I have since Googled it, like whether I'm allowed a camera in my own property, and it does say like you should tell guests or like other people coming into your property, you should inform them of the camera being there, but you don't legally have to, is what it said. If the camera's hidden as well, obviously that's illegal, but it was quite clearly just out on the table, not hidden. But I'm glad I had the camera. I wrote everything down, by the way, as evidence. We left the flat at 4:40 p.m. At 5:50 p.m, Sandra's mum comes over, which she did not ask for my permission for. 5:53, Sandra and her mum go upstairs. The toilet's downstairs, the dog's not allowed upstairs, so why were they going up there? At 7:11 p.m, Sandra's mum notices the camera on the table and she moves it around, she picks it up, she asks Sandra, what's this? So she notices the camera, so clearly it's not hidden. So anything that I tell you later in this story, that backs up my claim that my camera was never hidden or anything. I do have all of this as video evidence from the camera, so that's how I know the times that everything happened and like the fact that her mum came over and stuff. If I didn't have the camera out, I wouldn't have known anything that happened. Obviously, for legal reasons, I don't think I can show the videos on the internet. And no, by the way, I wasn't using the camera to spy on her, even though that's how it seems, because since then I've obviously gone back and watched all of the footage from that night. Sandra's dad comes over to the flat at 7:20 p.m. and then 7:26 p.m. Sandra's mum and dad go upstairs. By the way, throughout all of this happening, there were also times where they were taking pictures of my things. Sandra was showing my Michael Jackson collection to her mum. I've got quite a nice collection, so I'm glad she was admiring it. But she was literally taking pictures of it and her mum made a comment like, wow, that's really weird. Anyway, at 7:32, Sandra's mum moves and asks about the camera for the second time and they discuss what it could be. Tell me why I see Sandra get her phone out, she goes to her photos, she shows her mum what's in her camera roll. It's a picture of my bed, my bathroom upstairs, and they're just discussing like how much they think the flat costs the whole time. Yes, they live down the hallway, they live in the same building. Their flat faces the other way, so they don't have this nice view. Their flat is 1 story as well instead of 2 floors. So I get being nosy, but taking pictures of everything is just an invasion of privacy is what I think. So while I was out at 8:30, I thought I'm just gonna check in and see what Fifi's doing. I saw Sandra's dog was in the flat with my non-vaccinated dog. So follow for part 2. My dog sitter threatened to sue me, part 2. Go and watch part 1 for everything that's happened so far. Anyway, this is the point where I actually went onto the Blink app while I was out. I thought, I'm just gonna check in and see what Fifi's doing. I saw Sandra's dog was in the flat with my non-vaccinated dog. Obviously, I specifically said she can't meet other dogs. This is why you were doing the dog sit in our flat instead of in your flat with your dog. That was the whole point. She agreed, oh, our dogs will meet another time. They don't have to meet now. So I'm really glad that that was the point that I checked the app, but I hadn't seen anything else leading up to that point. So after much deliberation, I decided to text Sandra. I said, hey, sorry, just checking the camera to see how everything is, and I see that your dog is over. Please, could you take your little one home? I don't know if she read that message or not, but I thought we might as well just call her. When I the next day watched back all of the footage from the night, I could see the moment that my boyfriend called her. Sandra and her mum audibly gasped when we called her. There were a lot of times as well where like Sandra's mum would say things like, are they going to come home? Like, oh, what if they come home right now? Stuff like that. So they clearly knew that her mum shouldn't be there. My boyfriend was very, very nice on the phone, by the way. I was just I don't like confrontation. He told me that Sandra was very apologetic and she said that yes, she would take her dog home. And on the camera, when I checked back after the phone call was over, Sandra literally said to her mum, "I'm in trouble." And Sandra's mum says, "I better go home." And this is crazy. 5 minutes after that phone call, Sandra moves the camera to face the wall. So from that point on the clips, I didn't see anything that happened. Then she started texting me saying,